Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Divanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. Goodness gracious, today's episode is already crazy. I'm already having a blast, and I'm not just talking about the engines on the outside of the couch here that propel us through the cosmos. How you been? It's Space Couch time. Good to see you. Let's just get right into it because I really want to get to today's guest. We're going to do a little life support systems check right there. Fantastic. So we got to pay some space bills here. Let's get right into this week's sponsor, which is, of course, Tiger Squawk Records. But today, we're going to be advertising the recording of Squawk Stock. We did it last week, almost 10 hours of entertainment. We ran a festival that features industrial, Bitman, science fiction, Sugar Plum Suicide, Ryan of Toronto, that I hosted, then Night Terror, Batavia, then I hosted it again, Beta Virus, Pill Brigade, Virtual Terrorist, Club Ovator, Cedar Hill Furniture, Mr. Zoth and the Were Spiders, DJ Fishdick, Sex, Death, Religion, and Syrinx. 5 countries, 10 hours of entertainment brought to you by Tiger Squawk Records. That recording's up at facebook.com/Tiger Squawk Records, and I put the YouTube URL there if you're a weirdo. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of crazy today, or as you understand the concept of day, I'm out in space, so whatever. But we played with 2/3 of our guests a million years ago, and I've been listening to our other guest for a million years. I'll have you know that 2014's The Gothicals album Squid Icarus was rather sponsored by this podcast. We will just get into it. Oh my goodness gracious, the chat room's already blowing up. And if Industrial, DJ D42. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are from many parts of the country. Please welcome our Pitch Black Manor. What's going on?
Hey.
Okay, so my mic gain is a bit high, says Industrial. Oh, I turned myself down just for this show. I'm just.
My voice is important.
My voice is important, but we don't want to go full.
Is the Industrial Lex Luthor in that band, Luthor? Industrial. he's like, I brought the Scarecrow in. These other rotten villains to my industrial band.
Well, we have our own little Legion of Doom right here on see, right back in Bing on Space Couch. Let's start with, we're going to go off the rails into dimensions unforeseen. From Madison, Wisconsin, my old buddy Daryl. What's going on, Mr. Belden? Says, how are you breathing in space? Through love. Love is the answer. That's how I'm breathing in space. Monster Classics is out now. Let's start sort of high level, pardon the pun, to space. What might we expect just sort of as a gestalt from this offering?
Well, it's the greatest Halloween party album ever recorded.
It is!
We don't need to know much. You put that baby on and Halloween magic happens all around you. And in a year like this, it's trapped inside, you can't get out. You gotta fit in a shit, or that's how we do for you.
Awesome. I mean, you're in LA. I understand trick-or-treating's rather restricted. So...
Yeah.
So if
they keep changing their minds about it. They say we can do it and then not, and then do it and then not, so we'll see.
Well, either way, a constant in your life could be Monster Classics out now from Pitch Black Manor. We get that at pitchblackmanor.bandcamp.com, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah.
Or just
Get in it really long. You can either go to pitchblackmanor.com or add the Bandcamp on there, whatever you like.
Oh, we got
starts
options.
with HTTP /
What's the number?
www. Don't forget that part.
Which
What?
way does the backslash go?
Yeah, you know, I always get confused.
Which BBS is that on? And can I-
We're old enough that this dude knows about Lyle knows all about the BBS. He was into early phone hacking. You can tell him all about it, Lyle. Tell
well,
him.
You don't want it. No.
but I am glad you set that up.
Captain Crunch Whistle to get free fucking phone calls or something?
Yeah, I know that.
You did it. I've only heard of the legend. Let's actually do a little bit of band introduction. Being that we are our first three-way call, you're witnessing our first three-way live here. Here on.
Now we could break it in for you.
Well,
Stretching out the space cow.
Yeah.
I should just end the episode there. Like, just boom.
It's over.
Okay, please.
You have to watch that thing.
I mean, I gotta get views somehow. From the over my left shoulder, as you see it on screen, Josh. Why don't we start with you? Could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Josh Bentley. I am from the Quad Cities. I've been rocking since I was about 16 with these guys, and it's been a fucking great time ever since. Honestly, like this is the best thing. Everybody's like 2020 fucking sucks, and I'm like, yeah, it does suck in a lot of ways, but honestly, had this not happened, I don't know how this would have occurred, because I had 5 months to get in that studio and fucking scream, and
Okay.
it was fucking great. Loved it.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. Got to be a werewolf. I got to be. Oh, and I guarantee you three monster changes during this broadcast. 3.
Fantastic.
Just saying. I won't do one right now, but
Okay,
talk
sweet.
to one of these other assholes.
All right, so that's how it's billed, like in the credits crawl at the end of the movie, like other asshole number 2.
That's right.
All
Yeah.
right, we'll do a first
I
one.
mean,
Though.
I
This
answered
is
to
my
it.
2020 goth hat.
Oh man,
Yeah. You
I
guys
mean,
like that shit?
I can feel the darkness and I'm in space. Like that's how goth that shit is.
Jim, you're getting nothing. Thanks. Shame. That's free. It's on the house. You guys go for it.
Lyle, could you introduce yourself to the space people, please?
Yeah, my name is Lyle Erickson. I also am from the Quad Cities, and I live in Des Moines, Iowa now. Don't pronounce the S. And I don't know. I guess I've been rocking with Josh since I was 16.
Nice. And Chad, could you tell the people of your wonderful self?
Sure, I'm Chad Pfeiffer. Same situation. I'm from the Quad Cities. Been rocking since we were young, and I live out here in Los Angeles. Been out here for about almost 25 years.
Okay, great, awesome. Well, yeah, I have a terrestrial base in Boston, but I'm from Milwaukee and later Chicago, so it's this weird sort of Midwest space reunion going on. But Monster Classics is out now. Oh, Choke Chain from La Crosse, Wisconsin says smiley face icon.
Wisconsin? Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah. No, because my depending wife says I don't have an accent except when I say the word Wisconsin. But
or dragon. Say dragon for us.
Dragon.
That's another one.
Do I not hit it? Yeah, the like cran and bag and mouth and all.
Dragon.
Oh.
Jaeger. It's
Well,
like my wife is from Madison, so.
Oh, no shit. Okay. No, I spent a lot of time in Madison. Speaking of dragons, here is a little clip of your album about some serpents under the sea. Perhaps it's ambiguous.
In the hull.
So we just, this is dope, says Mark. It is dope. That was going down, which obviously is not about the monster. I mean, anybody knows that it's not about the monster below the waves, ostensibly, but the angst aboard the, what do you got?
That is the captain of our crew.
All right, well,
I guess we can reveal it now. That song's about Jabberjaw.
wow.
He
Okay.
is the most futuristic shark you ever saw, and he'll fuck you up.
I was wondering, like, is that a Curly sample at the end? Like, no, it's it's Jabberjaw.
What is the one of Bubbles? That's a. Can you even name all the characters on there besides his Bubbles and Tootie? Is
We'll go with that.
It's from Facts of Life, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blair? Is he in there? Joe, something like that?
Betty White. They're all there. They're all of them.
Oh, I did work on a new song for your. It's like the Space Coast, the Space Couch thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like this. The Great Space Couch, get on board for the Great Space Couch. You won't get bored on the Great Space Couch. I just throwing that out there.
Wow.
Holy shit! Ladies and gentlemen, live jingle. Thank you for writing our season 4 theme.
Trademarked.
Okay, all right. We'll have our space people talk to your terrestrial organization there, and we'll make that happen. Yeah, that was. Yeah, okay. Bonus track on Monster Classics 2: The Revenge. Absolutely love that Going Down track. So the journey here has been a bit crazy. I alluded to it at the beginning. For me, like, I remember listening to, as I do whenever a new episode comes out, the H.P. Lovecraft Literary Podcast, and on an earlier one you mentioned Human Aftertaste, and I was like, Human Aftertaste? I know them. What? Because in podcast world, it's just these voices that sort of just live in your earbuds, and they're disconnected from any reality, and you're like, the crazy guys with the G-string that made a mess, and like, yeah,
Never
okay.
made that mess. I never made that mess. If there was a mess made, we helped clean it up.
You certainly did. You certainly did.
Loopholes and nonsense.
Messes were made.
The
In pants.
and well, but beautiful connections were forged within my heart, is what I'm saying. And
Chad was great about. He took like one of our tracks from Human Aftertaste and played it on his show. I think it was a Laser Gun, which is it's a pretty awesome one. That's one of my favorite ones.
We did because it has a mention of Shadow Out of Time in it.
Yes.
So if you're looking for the episode, it's the series on Shadow Out of Time. Although I think that we were using some of we used some Human Aftertaste music for some of our audiobooks and stuff as well. I had an original fiction story that we used the Pickman's Model music for the film that
That's weird, Chad. I don't know about these royalties that were coming in.
I should mention that.
Oh, cool,
I mean, I
dude.
thought about doing it, and it never happened.
well, so this is sort
that
of.
makes me kind of rage out, dude. To be honest with you, I'm gay.
I shouldn't have mentioned. Boy, you brought up the wrong.
Ah! Oh!
Oh my god! I'm so scared!
Oh man! Oh man!
All right, my lawyers got
That's
involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Whew.
It's just so quick.
I don't know if it's the silver alloy we have on the outside of the ship here, or just the anti wolfsbane spray we have around. But we're back. You know.
Oh yeah, you're in a lot of danger out there. It's a full moon all the time in outer space.
Oh my! Where's that movie?
If you're afraid of werewolves.
Oh, that is genius! Like he's a werewolf all the time because he lives on the moon. Oh,
Yeah.
oh man!
Something to consider.
Give away our next album, man.
I'll do what? I didn't say anything. Just what are we talking about? I don't know anything about.
Not a bad idea.
So that's a little bit of my journey, and I did read the interview you did with my buddy Ilker on Regen. But what can you give us a little bit of? Because Chad, I'd reached out to you to ask just because I was curious about your musical past, and you mentioned Pitch Black Manor, and then so when we talked again to set this up, Facebook shows you the last messages, and it was 5 years ago. Well, a million years ago, I did this thing called Pitch Black Manor, but I will never.
Really.
And so
I
can
didn't
you?
scan up. That's hilarious.
It was like this wonderful little bookend of industrial music. Can you tell us about the Reformation, not only of the Catholic Church, but of Pitch Black Manor?
Yeah, well, the thing is that we didn't have some big dramatic split up or something like that. We've all been working with each other still in different permutations. And on the podcast, the reason that would come up is because, I'm still doing music for that. And some of the more popular pieces that we used early on were actually tracks that I put together for us to do at some point. They were like demo Pitch Black Manor things. So there's like Ghost Disco and some of that early stuff that Lyle put guitar on. Those were Pitch Black Manor songs. So I was always thinking about that. It was just circumstances of us being so busy that we didn't get it together. And a couple attempts here and there, but those pieces of music went into the show as well. So it's always been kind of happening.
Awesome.
It was just because of what Josh said, the circumstances kind of conspired this year to give us the time and space to be able to work on it. And then obviously the technology is in a place where we could do that. Because I think we probably still would have been, despite me moving back in the day, had there been an internet with the capabilities necessary for us to collaborate online.
Very cool. Give me just 1 second here.
You better not have lost that, 'cause that was an amazing soundbite I just gave you.
That was, yeah. That's
Oh,
that's
wow.
the
You don't say, Chad.
that's good stuff. No, I
Well,
had.
well, Chad, I think we were talking about because let's not pretend here. Some of this shit's scripted. That means something be different. But Chad, you had mentioned
Yes, I
something
admit it.
like pre-interview stuff. That about was there any influence of Pitch Black Manor into other things like Human Aftertaste? And I'd say, his writing and stuff like that is what really got us started because he was kind of ahead of the curve in his ability in music and stuff like that. And I followed a lot of his lead when we first started out. And, I'd say the success of what I was doing later on in those interim times between working with Chad, then with Chad, now with Chad, I learned a lot from, because Chad had, out of the two of us, the formal education, I was just the guy who wanted to sound like Nivik Ogre. It's like, the old recordings are pretty humorous.
Very cool.
But they were informed by a lot of early stuff like that, and you try and emulate. But Chad had an interesting writing style, and it's great that he took all that stuff when he was writing when shit was 16, 17 years old, and then using that in stuff years later. Because sometimes that shit just sticks in your head, and you can't get rid of it. You get it out, and you eventually have to use it. And I think that's probably something that Chad and I have in common musically, because there are things that I've been holding on to for years, and I can't get them out of my head, and they've got to come out someplace.
Totally.
And this album actually was there were many of those types of instances.
Okay, so you have all this stuff sort of chambered, and then we hit this everybody stay inside for a million years time, and was it just like, like Lyle calls you up and goes like, do you want to guys do Pitch Black Manor again? Like, was it like that, or?
I think there've been like several versions of that call,
Okay.
like over the years, and then it's always things don't line up. So, do you want to do this? Yeah, and then it's tough to follow through. And then I think Chad kicked this one off. Maybe Josh, me.
This
but
is Chad.
like,
I kind of think Chad kicked this one off. I don't
It's
know.
funny, like Brian, you were talking about seeing that old message. Josh and I were texting kind of around this time last year. I think.
Okay. Very cool, very cool. Eric Peabody says, "Oh, hi guys." I don't know who that is.
What's up, Eric?
That guy, he ruined our entire album.
Yeah, so much goddamn reverb. Like, I can't stand it.
I'm sorry.
You ruined the
Did,
song.
Eric.
did he produce it or something? Do we have the recorder on here?
Yeah, he's mix and mastered the album. Viking guitar.
A Viking guitar. That is a great
You
segue.
guys are in a similar biz, so you
Because-
should know it. I think it was interesting because Josh was talking about writing music back then, heavily influenced by Castlevania, because that's what we were playing all the time.
Hell,
And so
yes.
that Eric, who does the video game music scene, mixed and mastered the album, and I know that you've got. I love your 16-bit graphics for.
Well, Eric says we can always do more reverb. You did a great job on that album, sir. I love it. We will get into a little bit of that music vis-a-vis videos, because you're killing it on the video tip. You're already up to 4. Let's take a little bit of a gander at some of these pretty stellar videos we have. Let's do this.
Yeah, it was fucking Hunchy.
I don't remember the dead lady.
Yeah, Hunchy used to dance around, and he was Torture Boy.
Yeah, I remember him dancing when we did
Okay,
it.
but then he was the hag for I Dig You. Like he had you don't remember this? God damn, why I gotta make you
No,
remember?
you're right. That's right.
You're outnumbered, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just don't. That one I don't. I have such a strong image of him as Torture Boy that maybe that's what it is.
Torture Boy is from Human Aftertaste.
No, that was a Pitch Black Manor character. Torture Boy. We did a cover of Whip It by Devo.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, well before. I think there's another cover. Actually, Chad, I think you sent me in one of your playlists. There's a cover of Whip It, and I was like, yeah, that one's probably better than ours.
Well, I don't know if it's better. I just was like, we did a cover of it, so I wanted another cover of it. I didn't like that.
You know, the weird thing is, I told you dudes that we should do a cover of "Do You Think I'm Sexy" at one point, Pitch Black Manor, and this was like 5 years before Ministry did it.
Wow.
And like. Oh no! There were all sorts of like weird little ones that we were. I had the Willy Wonka. You remember the thing? There's no earthly way of knowing that one. Which direction we are flowing? I wanted to use that so bad, and then I remember when Marilyn Manson released that album. The Portrait of American Family, which is a great album. I don't give a shit. I guess that takes my my goth card away if I like that. But you know what I mean?
No, we give goth cards out.
Yeah, right.
But
it's international waters. Doesn't matter.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be a great sample at the beginning of stuff. We had but there's when you talk about like Gestalt while we made this record, I really feel like like at different points in time. With a little bit more money and like backing, this band would have done much better back then. Like we were always getting told by like we used to do a lot of shows with Electric Hellfire Club back.
Oh, nice.
And Shane, who's the keyboard player, who subsequently had died in a car wreck. Great guy. He was always like taking me aside and going, hey man, if you guys would just do this, like if you would get a DAT machine, you could sound this much better.
DAT machine, yes.
Oh yeah, believe me. I mean, we're talking, but I mean, he was talking like $3,000
right
when we were 19 years old, and it was like, so what bank are we robbing here, Shane? We barely had enough money to come up with for the demo that we did. I don't remember if that was paid for by our first show or, I can't remember. Like, I know we were like kids in a candy store. The first show we did, we got like $700-800 our first show.
Oh, we did
like,
better than that. No,
wow.
Yeah, we got it. It was a bad.
Mattis O'Gordon says
that was the first one that we organized on our own. But yeah, we made enough money to buy equipment.
Nice.
And then I thought it's always going to be like this. And then we go tour and we make $25-30 or nothing.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah.
Or they cancel the show on us. We had a very National Lampoon's Vacation touring summer.
Carrying the coffin on top of
Get out.
A grocery getter, our station wagon.
Really?
And then you drive through these construction zones, and every time we'd go, like the Star Wars, we'd go, stay on target, stay on target. Because it would start moving like this, and you're like, holy shit, we're going to hit the sides, dude.
Yeah, the alignment was off on the
That's the horror track right there. Mattis O'Gordon says Torture Boy.
Yes!
That's Torture Boy.
That is Torture Boy. Oh, we got Torture Boy. Okay.
He's treated well.
That show in Kenosha with Electric Hellfire Club, I was told I could only perform for them, then had to leave because I was underage.
Oh, that happened to us a lot, actually. In Madison, we got, remember Club de Wash? Okay, I even remember the name of this place.
Oh, that was...
We played that, and they were like, you guys got to get out of here. So we were like, oh, yeah? We're going gay bar!
Nice.
So we just went over to the gay bar, and Chad got a thumb in his butt. I'm like sitting there drinking a Zima, and I'm like, oh, Chad comes up to me, he's like, oh, dude, I think I just got a thumb in the butt. It's just,
That's true.
Chad's kind of a hot dude.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't pay for Zimas that night.
Oh, Zimas.
That is what we were drinking. For whatever reason, I don't remember it, like crystal clear, but I can see the bottle of Zimas.
Good stuff. I mean, there was an episode of Babylon 5 where like there's a Zima ad in the background, like the future. So we know it's going to come back at some point in the future.
Right.
It did for a few years, and then they were like, no.
Yeah.
It was like Purple Passion, that was a drink of the time, I think about all the things that like were fun to do back then, and like drinking essentially grain alcohol. Remember the best Pitch Black Manor story of trying to write music and failing at writing music is the Robitussin night at my house, where we were hanging out in our basement, and we're like, we're gonna write some tunes tonight. They're gonna be awesome. I'm going to go get some paper, and I'll be right back. But this was before I drank a whole bottle of Robitussin, and I disappeared into my own house and never came back. And I don't think we ever wrote any cool songs that night.
I stared at static on the television for a few hours.
Wow.
That night.
Well, I mean, if
Remember
you
when
fail that
DM
sanity
was
check,
awesome? You didn't take it out. Bring it back. Bring back DM. This is a great time during a pandemic. That's going to kill COVID-19, motherfuckers. Come on.
The Matt, my friend from Providence, says he loves the old school feel. Who also runs games at Necronomicon in Providence,
awesome.
And that's why I finally saw you, Chad, in the flesh for live HPL podcast. I didn't say hi or anything because there was like a line to talk to you. I didn't want to like. Ugh.
Well, you would have seen Lyle as well because he's been at all of those. So.
Oh no! Okay, I should have said something.
He's a goddamn lurker, man. Lyle always lurking in the background, stealing wallets and shit.
Well, I mean, you can't do those $1,000 shows anymore. You gotta make some money somehow.
All of it, all that.
Was speaking of the past, was 2017's re-release of Fear of Boys with Bugs sort of priming the pump in any way for like going back to the past, like with the release of Pitch Black?
It was funny you asked that, and I thought, oh yeah, that happened, didn't it? Because it was sort of more about closing the loop on something. I had those old recordings, and they weren't in a great state, and I wanted to just kind of have them, So I didn't market it heavily. I just got it out there. I'm not. That's an interesting question.
Oh no! I'm Frankenstein.
I'm Fear Boy.
Oh man. Well, I am.
Translator.
I am now bolt upright with fear from.
Yes, I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I that For Fear of Frankenstein Attack was a project that was abandoned. I did that that was sort of for my own edification. Like I was saying, I'm not particularly nostalgic for that time or anything like that. And I think that's why. Oh my God! On this record, we did new stuff.
Sounds good. Just button it up. Oh man, it's like one of those later generation Transformers that could transform into a spaceship and a robot and a train.
Astro something, right?
Run a train on you.
And we got a train joke in. Oh, that's the magic. That's the space.
Hey, Quad City DJs, remember that one? We were in that too.
Wow. Oh well, famous for Space Jam, bringing it all around. going full orbit, if you will. Let's just get right into this. You first came into my orbit under the auspice of Human Aftertaste. Did your work in HA inform the process of sort of recreating Pitch Black Manor, or was it like listening to those old tapes and really trying to do archaeology, if you will, to recreate that particular sound?
I think I learned everything I learned, like musically, I learned during Pitch Black Manor, and then tried to bring that knowledge forward into Human Aftertaste. I've always hired quote unquote better generals to work with than I have big ideas, so I need good generals, and that's the way I always feel about it. I mean, I'm honest. That's why primary writers, are Chad and Lyle, for this project. And when it was in Human Aftertaste, the other Lyle, there were two Lyles in Human Aftertaste at one point in time. There was Lyle Zeringer and then Lyle Erickson, and there was LZ and Ellie is what we called them. And, these guys were always better. Technically, they were just better writers than me. But I think that they were good at, vehicles for getting the sound out there. So I don't know, when it comes to the sound in that regard, I think that Pitch Black Manor informed my general beginning. And then,
by the way, the other Lyle was not named Lyle when he joined the band. That was something that Lyle made him do.
Oh, okay. You were curious.
I don't know. I think it might have been, yeah. Oh, there were two Lyles. Remember the doppelbangers?
That does remind me, because Josh and you and I were talking about the lyrics too. Not only do we have Monster Classics up, but we got a new single, Into the Gears.
Yeah.
So you're back. Was it just sort of carrying the momentum of Monster Classics into some new stuff?
The way that it's kind of kooky, because there's a song on this album on Monster Classics called Past Haunt, and when I worked Into the Gears, actually was something I worked on. Honestly, I worked on that years ago when I was, I'd say 2007, something like that. I worked on it and it was formulated, but it was something that could never translate into a Human Aftertaste song. It was just something. Lyle Zeringer had a very particular way of writing. If he was into something, boom, it was light speed. If he wasn't into something, then he just, we left it as an open end, and that was okay. That was our relationship, and still is. But it's really funny. I turned this song over to Lyle Erickson, and it was like, hey, what do you think of this? What can you make of this? He started putting guitar in, and he made this into a workable song, and we were going to release it for a project called Hot Candy Idols that we did, but that project just kind of dead-ended for a couple of different reasons, just people going in different directions. So we kind of shelved that. And then when this came up after Monster Classics, I'm like, for some reason I felt this urge. I was like, Chad has the ability to take this somewhere where it's gotta go. And he fucking burned that up. That track,
he sure did.
It's light years away from where I was, but it's still in the same thing, and it's
the song was all there, I heard it, and we actually considered it when we were doing Monster Classics, but it didn't feel of a piece with that because it wasn't a
classic
monster idea. So I wanted to work on it. To the video game connection, I was playing a lot of Tetris Effect before I worked on that. So if you listen to that game, you'll hear the effects of the song a little bit.
Well, there is that clock tower level in Castlevania 3 with the giant gears that you got to jump on.
Yeah.
So
I think some of that was playing into it too.
Right back in. It took me just a second to get into Pitch Black Manor as a whole, because when you do a lot of musical comedy bits on the podcast, and you sing in the same way, so it felt like you were leading into a bit the first time I put
really?
Yeah. Like, oh no, this is for real. Okay.
Sort of.
Trapdoor Lover on the Phantom of the Opera episode just killed me. And there was, you know how you could like have you accumulate like Katamari Damacy, these weird things throughout your life. You were trashing Josh, the opening band, and Bride of Frankenstein, when we went on and described them as singing through a Hardee's intercom, which I've appropriated.
Well, here's the thing, I had a tendency to like. People were a good sound wall when we played because this is a character. Bottom line, when I am that character. No, it's Jekyll and Hyde, and it's hard to get out of, and that's why we actually decided at the beginning of this project that I was just going to be me. Mm-hmm. And when we did interviews or things like this, it's easy to slip into that, but it's hard to slip back out. And I don't mean to be like, I'm such a character actor and bullshit, but that was an ingrained character for 14 fucking years that I was doing, and it's got its ups and it's got its downs, and and a lot of industrial bands, let's be realistic. Right. There are a lot of tropes and fucking things that industrial bands get locked into. And we even use them, and I love that kind of I'm on a CB, listen to me, shit like that. I love it. I really do, because, Thrill Kill Cult and people like that were, and Skinny Puppy and stuff. Mm. God, these are my idols, totally. When I was younger. So of course I'm into that, but if you can't see past that and kind of look musically beyond that, that's why we try to stick pretty straightforward, no auto-tune on this album. No, you're going to get reverb. Thanks a lot, Viking Guitar. You're going to get reverb and stuff. You're going to get the stuff, but I have a distinctive voice. It's my voice, and I want it heard for what it is now, not when I was 16 trying to be Nivik Ogre in my basement, fucking smatter home. That's not me. My idols are people like Freddie Mercury and Pete Burns. Those are the people. Yes, even in the off end, fucking Glenn Danzig, these are my vocal idols. I didn't say that these are my poster boys for people I want to be like, But
Pete Burns, to bring it around, when I was doing those Phantom of the Opera Trapdoor Lover songs, I believe we were doing Dead or Alive. Yeah, singing Trapdoor Lover to the tune of.
Yeah, that's the bit. I got you. I'm there. No,
which is funny, because a year ago when we were texting about this, I was like, we should just do something that's goofy instead of worrying about being too serious about it. Let's do a goth disco kind of thing. And you had said Dead or Alive, but goth. I said, yeah, something like that. And it's pretty funny because this coming week we're going to do a final release for Halloween, and it's a cover of Something in My House by Dead or Alive. So
yeah.
Well, you referenced Nucleopatra on that episode. I was like, oh my god, I thought I was the only dude that had that one. But
you have Nucleopatra?
Yeah, hell yeah, I got Nucleopatra.
But do you have Sophisticated Boom Boom?
I do not.
I've been hanging out black
the import prices out here.
I have ever heard in my life. It's so fucking amazing. I mean, Sophisticated Boom Boom is by far. Oh my god, dude! You'd put that on you were hanging out with some dudes. You want to hear an album? Check this one out. And they're
that is going on the space list. Speaking of Viking Guitar, we have a number of remixes from Monster Classics now available on various avenues. We have a dope industrial drop from Blood. Viking Guitar brings the Squeedly Beatly. Some band called the Gossicles turned it into a house track. And those are available, not centrally. You may have to do a little Googling, but you're watching this on the internet, so I'm assuming.
Please do.
I mean, we have a playlist set up for them on our YouTube page. So
Fantastic.
If you go to the Pitch Black Manor YouTube page, there's a playlist, and you can check them out. We're going to be adding more this coming week as well.
Yeah. Oh!
And John Burns, shout out to John Burns, who just did one for Ghoul Fever.
Yeah.
There's going to be like 3 Ghoul Fever. I think even Lyle Erickson does one for his project, his solo project, Spider Translator, which I like to call Ghoul Church. It sounds so fucking awesome.
Awesome.
It is.
Well, Lyle, tell us about that.
That's just everything I record that doesn't have another home. I just put out under that name.
Okay. So the upcoming Spider Translator, which is an awesome band name, remix. What might we expect from that, or should we not read ahead to find that italicized last sentence?
I think you better wait for it. It's
all right.
Pretty sweet.
We'll check it out. I know you've answered this question before, but for the Space Couch audience, might we ever be seeing Pitch Black Manor live again?
It's gotta happen.
Awesome.
Has to. I think, if Chad, my personal dream is to do. I know these guys have been going out to Necronomicon, and I've been horribly jealous of that. Like, you guys are fucking dicks. But I've always had things going on, and I've always wanted to come out there. I think Chad actually was like, "Oh, you should come out here for the last one that they did," and I was like, I've got work schedule stuff that is, I work a pretty hardcore 40 and over, job. And I really wanted to come, but I'm making time, hopefully, there's some control under this COVID situation by that time next year. And bottom line,
let the organizer know that we wanted to play a double bill with the Goth Cycle. It happens next year. Hopefully we'll come play with you there.
Baller!
Yes, it will be baller. It's so full circle, too. I love it.
Yeah, that is like opening up ancient horrors. The Elder Gods or other Lovecraftiana are starting a band. Who plays what instrument?
Oh, man.
I think it's Eric Zahn on flute, personally. But
okay, all right, sweet. We'll do a Jethro Skull.
Yes.
Jethro null and void.
Yeah, I like it. He's got to be the avatar of the King in Yellow. That's kind
okay.
of... That's my...
The King in Yellow is like the producer that shows up in the background every video. Okay.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Right.
2020 is the year of the King in Yellow. I mean...
There you go.
Everybody reads one news source and they're like, this can't be true. Like reading other things into it and like, I'm part of this story. Am I not part of the story? Like, it's...
There was a band. Who was the band we saw in Providence that had all the costumes where they were dressed up by Cthulhu?
Oh, yeah. Darkest of the Hillside Thickets.
Okay.
Great name.
All right. Well, we'll look at them and see who plays what instrument. The other hypothetical. Oh man, we have a license to Gill up in here with oh man, we are going full
connection to the real world again. I was spiraling into horror.
Well,
I promised you 3. That's the magic number.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got giant fish fin tattoos on my forearms. So
wow, you're like Kevin Costner in Waterworld.
Well, yeah, we're bringing that Findustrial. Non-stop. We're going full Glamphibian. Your musical influences have all formed like a classic Dungeons and Dragons style party. Who's what class?
Oh man.
Oh, I'm fucking barbarian, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like if the influence, you're the barbarian.
But
like,
I have 2 weasels that steal for me, and their names are Kodo and Podo.
Yes, because I
I didn't get kicked out of a D&D group for that, but I came in and I was like, well, I'm a barbarian and I have 2 weasel thieves, and their names are Kodo and Podo.
You
and
multi-classed
like,
into Beastmaster.
I don't want to play with this guy anymore.
If your influences had joined the party, would Ogre be the warlock? Sorry, I thought that was funny.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Because you would expect him to be
that's
an ogre.
Yeah. He'd be an ogre warlock. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think ogres can't be warlocks? I think that's the
No,
one.
I mean that's.
Do you also say lady doctor?
No, I mean that's pretty specious of me. Oh man.
The true monster that taunts us all, isolation and loneliness is presented.
This movie.
Oh man, Travis Bickle and
and the Mummy.
And the Mummy. Oh man,
that is a film right there.
I think
just
so.
made it multi-billion-dollar film.
Yeah, Taxi Cab 2. I don't know. We have to.
Yeah, it needs an Egyptian spin.
Right. Right. We'll get there. We'll get there.
That seems like a stretch, but I think we could get there.
We can do it.
Ray from Province, incidentally, it confirms that the 3-way transformer was Astro Train.
Astro Train. I knew it was Astro something.
That is the worst fucking name.
It's not good. It's not good.
They're in a board meeting. This guy's like, looks around. Astro.
Yeah, you guys,
everybody's like,
buckle up, everybody.
That's what you need to know.
GoBots. Right there. The GoBots were so bad.
Yeah, we don't brook GoBots here on Space Couch, but man, just like it's a plane, but if you stand it upright, it's a robot. Like, does that mean just it's a plane with a face all the time?
With a face all the time.
Just all the time. Dre from Scilab and a Skinny Puppy writing credit says, I'm late to the couch. Hey, y'all. Furoy says the Necronomicon in Rhode Island or Florida. That would be Rhode Island. Ryan Bates says ghoul, all in caps. And Furoy says...
I like that
just
guy.
identifying himself.
And Furoy...
I'm on Tinder.
That's your
hey,
Tinder.
guy, I got something for you.
It's a wolf man.
That was this guy. Come on, guys. You know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
calm down.
this show.
That is it's not just another werewolf love song if it involves the beast in your pants. The goodness.
That thing's been in my pants for like the last hour, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I set these jokes up. I'm like the carrot top. You like that, fuckers?
Yeah, paid off.
Yeah, there was a setup
Man.
and a resolution, and I think we're all in a better place spiritually.
I was like, okay, 3 monsters. Okay, I saw 3 monsters. I felt comfortable. And
Right.
when I felt comfortable, werewolf penis came out.
Just, I mean, a classic third act complication here on. Yeah.
Hey,
It was
I
the
did-
Hightower
we got
surprise.
the picture back here, guys. Check it out. This was used to be a Barbie house back here, but we revamped for my boys, my twin boys. We did a birthday party for them here, and we gave them their own Pitch Black Manor at one point in time. It's all about haunted houses.
You have a Pitch Black Manor on camera,
I
but
do.
it didn't get addressed till minute 54. That's amazing.
I know. I'm hiding all these things
Yet
in the
another
background. I
twist.
got Satan.
Oh, man.
Satan's over there, and I've got an Emmett Kelly. I think it's an original fucking clown that's like fucking in hell or something. Like that.
Okay.
It's a spoon. This clown is just hanging out thinking in hell of ways to kill you. See,
Oh,
that's
right.
the one thing we didn't have enough of on this album. It's not classic. We need to move towards, more modern monsters. I've
Mhm.
also got this great tile that I found at This legit I found at a fucking yard sale.
Wow.
Somebody painted a clown on a tile. Do you want this in your bathroom staring at you while you're fucking taking a shower?
They didn't want it either, man. You got that.
Oh, that is.
I've got this great clown tile.
Oh. That's the matinee feature to Lunar Wolf is Clown Tile. All these movies that we're putting together today. Oh.
I think it's a ring-like thing that got passed on to you so that the clown tile couldn't hurt them any longer.
Yes. Oh
Just
man.
have your own yard sale and sell that before you get in more trouble.
Right. Yeah. It's like the ghost is awakened by moisture and nakedness, and
Well, there's a lot of that over there. So.
that's the first line of the theme song, I think. What is next for the mighty Pitch Black Manor?
We're gonna do a little drop this, like I said, this week to close out Halloween season, and then we're lining up another project, and we'll be exploring some more monstrosities. But
Is that
whether that be an EP or a full-length album, we're still kicking around ideas. But,
okay.
We hope to do another interesting kind of product release with it as well. So keep your eyes open for that.
Under the banner of Pitch Black Manor. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but you can have that for free too. Cool.
That's what we say at the warehouse.
This shit's on the house here. I love it.
That shit's on the manor here on Space Couch. All right. Well, we will mind our Pitch Black manners and not go overtime. But is there any, or not? Who cares?
I gave you 3 transformations.
You did give us 3 transformations.
I gotta say, all around, I'm very pleased with everybody's level of preparation.
We did straight prep for this show.
I've been sitting on the toilet the whole time. You guys didn't even notice that.
Well,
that's what's messed up.
Talk about an October surprise. It's coming right up at the end of the episode. We can do whatever we want. We're in space.
It would be rad if you were pooping this whole time. That's how I want to experience it. It would be funny if you were really mad at Josh right now. Like, the whole thing was that I pooped and nobody knew.
Do you know how long it took to set this up? I was eating ramen and drinking coffee for hours. Right, just Mexican food all day, and you ruined my poop joke.
By the way, Brian, this show's great.
Okay.
I've had a great time. I really want to tell you how much we appreciate you doing that remix of All Hallows Eve. You were one of the only people that picked that one, and which is great because that's we've got a couple other people that are picking up. I think we've got somebody's doing one of Going Down, and then we've got Just Another Werewolf's Love Song, and maybe another couple in there, but
wow,
we really appreciate it.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, we'll see. We got a techno version of Just Another Werewolf Love Song. We got some other stuff this week, and leading up to Friday, like Chad said, when we do the drop on. Actually, Chad does an awesome Castle, which we call the Black Lodge remix of Castle on the album Twin Peaks, of course. I mean,
oh wow,
it's amazing.
We have a children's choir singing Mummy Alive.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man!
Children's choir being eaten alive, and
when you make a monster played entirely on musical saws by old men.
This is the best episode of Couch ever.
These remixes are sick, man.
Oh man, that is.
James Randy's doing a remix on one of these. He's actually proving.
Talk about girl fever.
The Eddie Vedder 90s remix of Voyeur Destroyer, which is fucking horrible.
Yeah, he does the freak out and everything. That's actually his werewolf transformation, is the Eddie Vedder freak out noise. Okay, so we are on this flying divan out here in space. I'm going to bring it back on into the space station shortly. We need to check out pitchblackmanor.com or pitchblackmanor.bandcamp.com. Look up Pitch Black Manor on YouTube for 4 perhaps more videos coming in the future, all with masks from the 90s and
And got hats.
we dapped.
Hats, that's right.
Some people hit the dab, you hit the dap. On that was terrible. On Space Couch, I don't feel good about it in my heart.
Sitting on the dab, son.
Oh yes, there we go. Lyle was shitting the whole show, but I just dropped a bomb on.
My grandma called it a Davenport. Who the fuck? Go sit over on the Davenport. Who the fuck tells you that? That's
yeah. You gotta watch out if you get a competitor show, Space Davenport.
Call the spaceships to Davenport. Prepare for Davanarchy and interface with the couch in space.
We should end it here because you said Davenport at the beginning, and then it's done.
Oh, I should have just tapped out at as soon as I hit the. Oh damn!
Wait a minute. No, keep it rolling.
Okay, yeah. I ain't breaking away for shit now. I thought we're just hulking out. We're going full guru. That's just an ad.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys want to be famous.
That werewolf increased your sense of
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The scare.
Oh, we are getting full gyration from jabulation. Count Jabula is back on the attack, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Pitch Black Manor Magic Space Couch exclusive.
This has been magical. I'll be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Being back doing music with these guys.
Hell yeah.
We're talking from sick. Chad and I have been friends since 12 years old. Most not. Ewok fetishes and all. Right, Chad, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna blackmail you on here. But we've been friends a long time, and Lyle kind of joined in high school. So this is great, 2020, come for me, bitch.
Sweet. Well, that will be your out, unless you want to drop in anything else here on Conscience. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us out here in space. It costs billions of dollars to send the signal out this far, so you'll see a bill shortly. But this has been amazing. Thank you so much for making this happen. This is really. Brian for Space Couch, for Chad, for Lyle, for Josh, for Pitch Black Manor, ladies and gentlemen. Check out my class.
Working man in industrial music, Brian, right there, motherfucker.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lyle. Not anymore that he got the thing that he, that was a shit joke that didn't go anywhere. Speaking of going nowhere, see you next week on Space Couch. Goodbye. This is the outro tech.
Space Couch, get on board.
Yeah! Oh, the universe does not exist where that is not getting sampled. I know I owe you royalties on that, but welcome to Tiger Squawk Records, I guess. Super good. You guys, this was the highlight of my whole week. This will be up on, Facebook and YouTube and podcast and all that. I am going to do this thing where I end Skype. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you around, okay?
Hey, thanks for having us on, man. I really appreciate it.
No, this is the best. Bye.
Thank you, Brian. Bye.
Are you guys hanging up now, Chad Pfeiffer?